Welcome back to another episode of the Breadwinner Energy Podcast. Today, I am here with a guest, and my special guest is actually one of my students inside of Coach School. She has an amazing program that she's launched, and I am so excited to have her on today's show. So, welcome, Cayla.
Hi.
Yeah, I'm so excited to have you here today. We've had lots and lots of DM conversations even before you joined my program.
Yes.
And I have been mutually interested in what you do and the things that you talk about. So tell our audience more about you. How'd you get started? Where you're from? What you do?
Yeah, so I am Cayla Esteban or Cayla J. Esteban if you're looking for me on social. And I am a biblical naturopathic doctor, which a lot of people say, what does that mean? And so if you're familiar with a naturopathic doctor, just kind of like using natural health solutions for health issues, I kind of take it a step further, using science-based and faith-based methods. And I kind of look at it like I know we say like, oh, it's holistic medicine and you look at the whole person, but I feel like I really go deeper and not just looking at like the physical health and the emotional health, but really like who you are as a person, kind of who your spirit is, and kind of like your spiritual health and what that means and how that kind of plays into your physical health. So my specialty is like I love women's health in general, but especially after becoming a mom, I kind of say that I specialize in mom health.
Yes.
So that means like fertility, pregnancy, postpartum recovery, and then just like general mom health, because there are so many kind of like mom related health issues that I think we don't really give enough credit for after the pregnancy. Like just kind of the general staying healthy, all these kind of like specific health issues that tend to come up for moms because of being pregnant, and also just like kind of not taking care of yourself as a mom, which is so easy to do. I mean,
Right?
you're
Oh
a
my
mom too,
gosh. Yes.
it's it's so easy if you're not very intentional. So that's in a nutshell. I think you asked me how I got started.
Yeah.
I like the simple answer is I just got really sick, maybe like 10 years ago, and it was kind of adding up it was kind of adding up over the course of my life, and I just never really paid attention to it. I just thought, oh, it's just normal to get super
Yeah.
tired, or it's normal to have, oh, I'm a teenager and I'm just like have weird mood swings. Like that's just normal to be on antidepressants and go to therapy and all these things. And like I just thought, oh, like you just get painful periods, like everybody does. That just happens. And I didn't pay attention to all these kind of like I call them like check engine lights in your
Yes.
body that come on, and I just kind of brushed them aside until one day my body just kind of fell apart. And I had to kind of rebuild myself and kind of learn what that looks like, and then get, professional education after that. But it did start out very kind of DIY, like, looking on the internet and finding all
Right.
these and so like I definitely empathize. I feel like I try not to come across as somebody that's like holier than thou now, like I've got it all together and I only eat carrot sticks. Like I like just for reference, if it ever starts to sound like that, like I used to eat like an entire pizza in one sitting. I bring like a carton of soda and just like leave it in my car and just like drink Mountain Dew like water. So like I have I try to have like zero judgment for wherever anybody is at in their story, because I used to be that way and I still love junk food and I still like deal with
Yes.
that on a regular
Right.
basis too. So yeah, I hopefully that answers your question of just kind of where I got started and where I am now. I'm not fully done yet. I don't think you're ever going to be fully done with like working
Right.
on health and trying to
Right.
be a healthier, better version of yourself. Um, yeah, so it's just, you take it one day at a time and you try to work on the things, and you try to do 80% and still enjoy yourself sometimes and kind of call it as you see it. So I think that answers all of your questions. Let me know if I missed anything.
Yeah. No, that's great because I am too, right? A postpartum mom. And I was a postpartum mom again 6.5 years ago when I had my first daughter. And that was when I started my business. And for my audience specifically, we've got moms, we've got business owners. And so you're running on E most days. You're constantly busy. You're even at home with the kids. You're not sleeping through the night. You have sick kids. And then it's the business piling up and the meetings. And before you know it, it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon and all you've had is 2 large coffees, right? And you skipped lunch and you're not drinking enough water and it takes a toll over time. And so I'm so excited to just really dive into this today because I think for the busy mom, the postpartum mom, the you're running on E mom slash business owner, she is looking to take care of herself, but she doesn't know how, right? There's so much information online. It's like information overload. You don't know where to start. And for a lot of us, right, we go to social, we go to TikTok, we go to Google to find answers. Because your general health provider is not going to give you holistic answers, right? They're gonna be like exercise and eat better. Okay, great. But like, what does that mean? And where do I fit it in? Like,
Right.
right?
And even on TikTok and stuff, it's like conflicting because some people are like, oh, you need to eat a high fat diet. And other people, no, you need a high protein diet. And no, you need to do high intensity workouts. And no, you need to, yeah,
Right.
it's very, even for somebody like me who has had like years of education, I'm like, do I believe that? Like
Right.
people say, what do you think about apple cider vinegar? And I'm like, honestly, I don't know.
Right.
Like,
Exactly.
there's certain things that I still kind of like, there's things I'm just like, "Ugh, well, call it as you see it, I guess," because there are really there's a lot of gray area when it comes to health, and so it's really hard to be like, "Just do this and you'll be fine." Even in business, I
Exactly.
mean, you
Yes.
can see that too, like, I was just talking to somebody the other day because I was like, I feel like it'd be so easy, like, "Here, plug in this product and plug in this marketing and you'll get your money." Like, it's just not that simple, and
Exactly. I was just going to relate it back to that because people ask me all the time, well, what do you think about this? And I'm like, that is such a loaded question because I don't know. Tell me more. Tell me about your business. Tell me about your offer. Like, tell me about your life. And
right.
that strategy might just not work for you. And so it's never just a one size fits all. And so that was a perfect way to relate it back. And I think, like you said, it adds up over time. It's not just doing this one thing this one time, it's a lifelong journey that you have to commit to. And so let's dig into how do we get started? Like, where do we start? So, if you're wanting to step into this healthier journey, because let's just say you want to help with like fatigue and overall energy, right? Like, I think as a mom, having overall energy would be great to keep up with your kids, right? Like, not crashing by noon, 2 p.m. So, where do we
Mhm.
start? Like, if we're just on this journey, what would you say? Like, this is your first step. Is it detox? And if so, what does that look like?
Um, so the way that I think of like if I had to just give like one sentence, probably it would be and I see this and I make this mistake all the time too, but like an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure.
Oh, that's
Like it is so much easier to do small steps now
good.
than to try to do all of the hard work to recover later. And most of the people that come to me is like they are already at that almost like the end of the track sort of thing where
Mhm.
they're like, my body's falling apart. Can you help me? And I want a quick solution. And I'm like, there is none. There was a quick
Yeah.
solution like 5 years ago. But you went probably most people like they go through the doctor, they go through the medicine, they go through all these different things and it doesn't work. And then their body's slowly falling apart. And then as a last resort, they look to holistic health and they're like, can you fix me? I need a miracle. And I'm like, I'll try. And then when sometimes it doesn't work, they're like, oh, well, holistic health just doesn't work. And I'm like, you just didn't really give it the chance, or you didn't start early enough, or you didn't put in all of the hard work that you needed to put in when you were at that point. So if
Yes.
anyone is listening to me and they're not sick already, like please
Preventative.
do these steps now. And
Yes.
it sucks because I feel like especially in America, like we want to have it all. We want to go at 100 miles an hour. We don't want to stop for anything. We don't want to take the time. We just want to get it done and get it quick. And we just want to pop a pill and solve all of our problems.
Yep.
And it just like most of the time it just doesn't work. Even in a holistic health, I feel like there's all the supplements and there's all the like you can do the red light therapy and the ozone therapy and all these different things and you can spend like $1,000 a month on holistic health for like quick solutions,
Mhm.
and sometimes it's going to work. But it's not going to be as effective. And I know there's somebody that's just going to hate me for saying this, but like you just really need to have the discipline to do the little things on a daily basis.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of like the biggest thing. And sometimes it really just can be so simple as like taking time just to do a little bit less. Like we don't really need to do all the things. And like just really prioritizing yourself, like it kills me, but I take like I have a toddler and a 6 month, 7 month old, and I've timed their naps well, and I would love to make that nap time like my work time, but I do like 20, 30 minutes of work and the rest of the time is rest for me
I
because
love
I
that.
know that I need it. Because I know if I don't do it, then I'm gonna be like yelling at my toddler and I'm not gonna be the mom that I want to be and I'm gonna be exhausted and frazzled. So I know that I need that like nap time. And that's just for me. I've needed to do that. And maybe not everybody needs that because not everybody's waking up 5 times in the middle of the night like I am.
Right?
So it's very personalized, but I think just like making those small steps of like I make sure I drink water first thing in the morning because a lot of people don't realize like staying hydrated is a big fatigue thing.
Yes.
Um, and like just making sure that you eat snacks, like just having stuff prep, like maybe Sunday is your like snack prep day.
Prep day.
And you just
Yeah.
keep like little, like you just pull out a cheese stick or pull out
Yes.
like a granola bar or something like that, like keeping up your energy. I think a lot of times, like as a mom, getting getting like hangry is like a lot of our things that we get upset with our kids about or just getting stressed out about or even in business like not being able to focus, like a lot of those things is because like we didn't do those little things. And sometimes like keeping track of it, I feel like I'm just rambling trying to think of all the different things, but um like I used to just keep like a water bottle a certain size, and I would
Yep.
just make sure like okay, by like noon this needs to be empty, and then by like 4 in the afternoon this needs to be empty, and then so I was able to kind of like gauge my water, or even just like keeping certain snacks out on your counter and like these need to be gone by the end of the day.
I love that
Whatever it
actually.
is that you have to do just to kind of like keep yourself in check or
Yep.
accountable, or like I mean, you're gonna hate me too, but like caffeine, I don't drink caffeine anymore, and I feel like it gives
No.
me a lot more sustainable energy. um yeah, like it's something that we just kind of like our bodies do have a natural sort of like energy producing thing, and when we use caffeine it just like gives us a jolt and then a crash.
Yeah.
uh, and
The
it's
thing
so
is
easy
with
to
me is
do.
like I feel like I've drank caffeine for so long now. I don't feel a jolt. I don't even feel energy from it. I just like the taste of my drink. Like I
Mhm.
there's sometimes I just get what's it called? Not caffeine free. That's soda. I don't drink soda. But what is the
Like
word I'm looking
decaf or
for? Oh
something,
my
or
gosh,
like
yes, decaf because it's not the caffeine that I enjoy. It's the flavor of the drink.
Mhm.
And so yeah, for me, I don't experience like the jolt or the crash. It's just like this tastes good and then I just keep going about my day, which
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Uh-huh. No, I definitely had to go through a time of kind of like it's not just like I stopped drinking caffeine and I'm fine. Like
Yeah.
I had to go through kind of like a sort of a weaning process, like physically and psychologically. And I started to notice
Yep.
like because I would drink like hot coffee in the morning, and I started to like I would switch to hot tea that was like caffeinated tea, but it was a little less caffeine. And then I started to realize like even just it sounds weird, but like drinking a cup of hot water in the morning like
Yeah.
was enough for me psychologically to be like I'm drinking a hot drink, and it would kind of perk me up. There's like an herbal coffee. The brand is called Ticino.
Hmm.
It's Teechinio, I think.
Okay. I'm looking this up.
But
I love it.
it's an herbal coffee, and it tastes a lot like coffee, like, it's
Cool.
remarkable. too much. It tastes like
Love
coffee.
it. Yeah,
You
for me,
combine.
it's just like the taste and I think too, like you said, it's that psychological piece. It's like the experience. Like this
Mhm.
in the morning, like I get up and go get my coffee and it's like quiet and I listen to podcasts and I come like back to my desk and I work like it's my routine, right? It's that experience
Mhm.
more than I think it is even anything else. But I
Yeah.
want to touch on a few things. So my chiropractor told me this recently and I'll never forget. They're like, if you don't take time to focus on your health now, you'll be forced to focus on your sickness later. And it completely
Yeah.
changed like my mindset. And I was like, yes, like that's so true. Like if you said it's the little things that add up on a daily basis. So what I want to know is, what are the little things? Tell us your routine. Like I want to fully dive into like what do you do on a daily basis?
Yeah. Oh, just one thing before I forget. So, like with
Yeah.
coffee, if you do really want to drink coffee, like what I suggest is, like a lot of times we'll sit down and we'll like just drink the full cup, and that gives us like a spike and a crash. So
Yep.
if you kind of like nurse it through the day, like that's what I'll do sometimes if I drink a cup of coffee, like I'll just kind of sip on it, and that gives you like little energy blips versus like a spike and a crash. So that's like an alternative too. If you're like, if anybody's listening and they're like, "Don't you dare take away my coffee routine," like that's an option too.
That makes me
So
feel better because sometimes I get my coffee at like 5, 6 a.m. and it's not gone until like afternoon. And then my
yeah,
husband will
yeah,
be like, "You're still drinking that?" I'm like, "Yeah,
okay.
it's the
Yeah, no, it's
experience."
so much better. Yeah. Um, okay, so my routine, it changes actually. So I
Okay.
can't really give you like a clear-cut answer of like step one, step two. Because I kind of like call it as I see it
Mhm.
personally in my life. Um,
Let me ask this. Maybe this is a better question. Do you have like daily non-negotiables? So I know you talked about like this much water, like maybe snacks, meals. Do you have like non-negotiables you do in your day-to-day routines, vitamins,
yeah.
supplements?
So yeah, like staying hydrated is a non-negotiable, like especially like being pregnant and breastfeeding, like I think I got in that habit,
Yes.
where like I always have this like thermos of water that I
I
take with
love
me.
water.
And even water quality too. Like I have a clearly filtered water filter that's it
Yep.
is pricey, but to me it's worth it. Just to like make sure that my water is really good.
Yep.
And then I do like remineralize it too. I have some like trace mineral drops that I'll put in there also. So that's a non-negotiable. Like managing my stress, I think is a non-negotiable because like I have a tendency just to be like nice with my toddler, especially she's like super high energy, super sensory seeking. So like I'll make the mistake of like asking nicely like 6 times and then I just like blow up and I'm like, what? So
Can relate.
I try to make sure to like cut it off. Like I've asked you 3 times nicely. Now I'm gonna help you listen because I can't handle the amount of stress that keeps building to get to the point of
Yep.
like blowing up. So I'm gonna cut it off
I
early.
love that actually. That's great.
Yeah, and so I like especially the last like having 2 kids now, I've really needed to be like extra mindful of my stress levels and my nervous system and be like, I can't handle this.
Yes.
And and even things that like seem really simple, like if she's just doing something that bugs me and I know it's like I'm just gonna be like, baby, can you play with a different toy? Because like that one's really bothering me right now. Just kind of like
Yes.
healthy self-advocacy.
It feels so good to relate because sometimes I feel guilty that it's like overstimulating me and she should have to play with a different toy because of me. Like, but I obviously like sometimes I can't remove myself from that situation because like I have to be there to watch her. But I
Yeah.
also know like, do I need to just like wear earplugs? Do I need to wear headphones? Like I feel bad, but at the same time, I'm like, if you don't stop doing that right now, I'm going to like scream at the top of my lungs.
Yeah. I mean, and when you think about it, like, yes, maybe she does want to play with that toy, but like, would she rather play with a different toy and have a calm mom, or would she rather play with
Yeah,
that toy and have a mom that's yelling at, because like kids don't enjoy having their mom getting upset with them. So
exactly.
yeah, I think just kind of like having that, and I'll try to communicate with that with my kid too and say, like, you
Same.
know what,
Yeah.
that's just stressing me out right now. Like, I really can't handle that. Like, so please help me help you.
Exactly. I'm all
Uh,
about the open communication with my daughter, my oldest daughter, and she's so great too because then she does the open communication like with her sister. She'll be like, "You're great. I'm glad you're mine." Like she'll say stuff like that. Like, "I appreciate you" to the baby. And it's
Yeah.
so fun to, like, watch her, like, be able to communicate like that effectively, or, like, with her dad when if, like, she does something and her dad's like, excuse me, why did you do that?" And she'd be like, "Well, I was thinking this," or, like, "I was feeling this," and I'm like, "Yes, you go, girl."
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. I love it. Um, yeah, so, like, hydration, like, just managing my stress levels,
Yeah.
I mean, like, my spiritual health too, I think that really makes a big difference because if I feel like I'm centered and grounded and,
Mhm.
like, I'm having regular prayer and, like, focusing on gratitude and all those things, like, that really, really helps just, like, me as a person, and it makes my day a whole lot better.
Yes.
Um Let me think if there's anything else that's like, um,
Oh, do
so
you
like,
detox? That's what I wanna know. Do you
oh,
detox?
so at the moment, recently I haven't been doing anything just because like it gets in your breast milk.
Oh, yeah.
Um, so that's why, like, especially after this baby, I was like, okay, I need to take a break from like the baby making things because like I really do want to be doing those detox things. Like I realize I need to have that, but I'm really limited in like certain herbs that I can take and things that I can do just because I am breastfeeding. But if I wasn't, like there's some really good things. Like I know somebody that has an ionic foot bath, that's like a great detox thing that or even just doing like a cleanse. Like if you just wanted to go like a week or 9 days to me is like a really ideal thing. I want to put this out there like eventually. I have so many ideas, but I have like a 9 day kind of reset detail, like mind, body, spirit cleanse detox thing that like I want to put out. It's like halfway done and I finished it a year ago and got pregnant and
We're gonna need
still
that one.
finishing it. So tune in someday. Follow
Right.
me if that sounds good to you because it'll come out eventually.
We're gonna need that.
Um, yeah. So, yeah, even if it's just something as simple as um, like I'm gonna take a week to do like a raw vegan cleanse, like something like that.
Yeah.
Like switching up your diet for a little bit can be helpful,
Mhm.
even if you're not like if you don't want to be completely plant-based or you don't want to do like I know there's different controversies with like what's the best diet.
Yeah.
But even just doing like a raw food cleanse just because there's so much fiber, I'm not advocating it necessarily all the time, but it just like really does a good job of flushing out your system.
Yes.
Um, Let me see
That's
what.
another one too. So, like, for me, I'm ADHD, so I have a really hard time sticking with diets per se, and I don't
Mhm.
even like diets because I want something sustainable. But with my
Yeah,
ADHD, I will cling to foods and then I will be obsessed with them for like certain amount of time and then I will hate them. So for me, I can't sustain something long. So what I like with my
mhm.
husband is like, okay, let's go through the 9 day whatever, and then let's follow that with like cleaner eating. Like what does this
Right.
look like versus like meal prepping and eating chicken and rice every single day, right? Like that's
Yeah.
not sustainable.
No, I don't think it is for just about. I mean, if it is for you, like great, but
Exactly.
I think
For
for
most
most
people,
people
no.
it's not. And I think that's a really big barrier that I hear with a lot of people. Like when I talk about eating like healthy or eating organic, they kind of look at me like, do I have to do this like every single second of the day? I'm like, no.
No,
Like when I
exactly.
tell people like 80% of the time, like my husband and I don't know if you know this, like In and Out burgers. Do you know that? Because it's like a
Yes.
California thing, but I don't know how
Yeah, we don't
that's.
have it, but I know about it. My husband's from California.
Oh, okay. So like we love In and Out and maybe I'll eat it like 3 or 4 times a year, but like
Yeah,
we like everyone like on my birthday, like I want to go eat In and Out.
exactly.
Or like if it's your birthday, like enjoy your food, like don't eat a salad on your birthday if you want. Or even just like in the week, if you think like 80% of the time, that's like, I don't know. I'm not good at math, but that's probably like 3 or 4 meals out of the week that you
Yeah,
can just enjoy and you don't have to stress too hard. Like our bodies are designed to have a natural amount of detoxing functioning on a regular basis that like
yeah,
it like knowing what you can handle. Like I used to be super sensitive to gluten. Like if anybody
really.
took gluten and then touched my food, I couldn't I would have like a complete breakdown. And thankfully I've been able
Wow.
to heal myself from that, so that I still don't eat gluten, but I can tolerate it a little bit.
Amazing.
So like for that for me was a non-negotiable because like if I eat gluten, I will get a divorce. Like so I knew that I needed to do that because like it just
Yeah.
totally changed me. So that was something that needed to be a non-negotiable for me. But like for other people, like, maybe you can handle getting like certain foods a certain amount of time, like if it doesn't bother you. Um, yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to like remember what was your original question?
I don't even know at this point. I feel like we're just like going on to a great conversation. But I will say so
Yeah.
this is what I've taken away. So for all the women moms listening right now, so some actionable items would be more water and better quality water,
Mhm.
reducing your stress, limiting your caffeine, prioritizing rest, and eating snacks throughout the day, prioritizing
Yeah.
snacks, healthier snacks, which I think that we can all collectively agree that as mothers and being busy, we probably don't do enough of any of that. Or we like will do it great for like a week and then we'll stop doing it after that. And so these are some things that you guys can take away right now. You can start doing right now in your day to day, which are simple, right? Like all of these things you probably have in your home, or you can just add to your grocery list. It's not like some amazing, like new spectacular fad diet you have to go out and run to, and you shouldn't even want to do that. So, what I want to know, a couple things is first and foremost, our infamous question we always end with: if you were going to write a book, what would you write about? Would you write about holistic health or something completely different?
Um, mm, I I come up with I feel like I have so many ideas in my life. Like, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna write this book. So that's a
Yep.
really hard question to answer right now. But if I had to answer right now, like the subject that I'm most passionate about probably is like the program that I'm putting out right now. And that is it's holistic healing, but it goes really, really deep. It goes just like healing in your mind, body, and spirit. I really got inspired with this program. It's called Rebirth. So I got inspired because I had two people approach me to do like one-to-one sessions, and one of them was struggling with fertility, and the other one was struggling with like an autoimmune thyroid and like gut health and stuff like that. And I was trying to think of what I would recommend for each one of them. And I was like, oh my goodness, like 60-70% of this is exactly the same.
That's
It's a
good.
lot of just like taking out all of the toxins, physical toxins, like, the things that we eat and the stuff that we're exposed to, but also even just like going deeper with the mind and body, like what are the mindset blocks? What are the hangups? Like talking about things like, we're sustainable for a week and then we just fall off. Like, why do you do that? Like, what is it
Yes.
about you? What is it about like your childhood? What is it about like the way that health was taught, the way that like being productive was taught, all these different things, kind of like doing a deep inventory on that. Even like spiritual toxins, like what are you consuming on a daily basis? Like what
Um,
TV shows are you watching? What books are you reading? What people are you spending time with? Like, are you spending time with toxic people? And that's really
the
affecting
music
your
you listen to, even like
yeah.
I feel like this is so like this is why we connected so well because you're like speaking my language because I'm fully believe that like everything's connected, right? Like everything in your body's connected. So any physical elements you're having are usually from some mental thing, from some trauma, right? It's like a deep line and everything's connected. But
Yeah.
also when I started realizing like what you consume affects your mental health or it affects your life or affects your day to day. And then I started like really paying attention to the music I'm listening to. I will tell my husband, like, turn that off right now. Like, I'm disgusted. Like,
Yeah.
right in the past, I would just like listen like mindlessly and it would just like be in the background and like whatever. But then when I really start to listen, I would be like, this is terrible. This is
Yeah.
awful.
It's kind of like junk food for your mind. Like you
Literally.
can handle a
Yes.
little bit, but like if you're eating McDonald's every single day, like you're gonna get sick. If you're listening to like hardcore, like I don't know, I don't want to offend by anybody by saying a specific kind of music, but like, like really hardcore like stuff that's just super negative and like all these things, like yeah, that's gonna affect you on a spiritual level and on a mind
Yes.
level that like I think people don't realize. So like my program is really all about like doing a deep inventory on eliminating all the things, understanding why those things are there, why you do those things, and then projecting into the future of like, I call it kind of like a choose your own adventure for your health because, like, it really does have to be a choose your own
Personal.
adventure. Like, it
Exactly.
has to work for you. It has to fit your budget. Like, people ask me like what to do with certain health things, and I'm like, there's about 1,000 different ways that you can accomplish that health goal, but it just has to work for you. Like, it has to fit your schedule and your budget and your time and like there's no one program for everybody. There's no like one
Exactly.
supplement or diet or things like that. So we really have to learn, like the biggest thing is learning how to listen to yourself and like what really fits with you and then just kind of like projecting into the future of like how do we want this to live for the rest of your life? And part of that is recognizing like, so for me, like what I told you, things change a lot. Like I don't always exercise the same way. I don't always eat exactly the same way. I kind of call it as I see it and course correct. A lot of times I think we think like I'm gonna be super healthy, and then a week later we've fallen off the track a little bit, and they're like, "Oh no, I failed, and then I can't be healthy," and we like go into this shame spiral, and like we can't ever be holistic, and it's really not about that at all. Like the way I think about it is almost like if you're going on a trip, like Christopher Columbus sailing across the Atlantic Ocean, like he wasn't, he course corrected along the way. Like, okay, we're going a little bit off the way. Okay, now we need to go a little bit back. And then we're gonna go a little bit back and a little bit back. It wasn't like, oh my goodness, we went off track. We need to sail all the way back to Spain and start over again. No, like it was like
Exactly.
we're course correcting. Like, okay,
Yeah.
yeah, I went on a bachelorette party weekend and I got super drunk and I feel disgusting and I ate fast food every single day for an entire week. And like I didn't fail. I just need to course correct. Like I need to
Yes.
start again. I need to like go a different, just like even out.
Exactly.
So it's not a failure. It's just a like just a reset.
Yes. Literally
um
a rebirth.
Yes, rebirth, exactly. So like that's my program is a 9-month long program and I love that idea because it's like for moms and we understand like, things don't come simply. They don't come like building a baby doesn't happen in a day or a week. Like you really in order to like reset yourself and kind of project yourself on this new version of you that's healthier
Mhm.
in a mind, body, and spirit level, like it's going to take this 9-month program to kind of like rebirth you into a healthier you and the person that you want to be in the future. So the program takes 9 months, and then but it's kind of anticipated that like this will give you the keys to know yourself and know why you do things and know what you want to be and the person that you want to be and kind of project that for the rest of your life. So
Amazing.
if
Yeah.
I
And
could
so
fit that into a book, I would write another book about that too, because I'm really passionate
that would be
about that
perfect.
topic in general. Yeah.
Exactly. So Kayla's in coach school. We have been working on building her program inside that program, which has been so fun to just be able to like be inside your specialty while you're inside mine, if that makes sense. So I'm learning
Yeah.
so much from you, and then you learn something completely different from me. So we've
Mhm.
been building that program. The program is open. You can enroll. So the link will be in the show notes for you guys to enroll. If you are a mother, a business owner, if you want to be healthier, you're on the journey and you want support, hands-on guided one-to-one support for what's going to work for you, this is the program for you. 1000%. This is the place to get all of your information without Google searching, without running to social and trying to collect all the things, because I've been there. It's a rabbit hole. You get nowhere because you have so much conflicting information. You're overwhelmed. Just go to Kayla's program. Just start with one place, go through the 9 months, and then you're going to have a really strong, solid foundation, routines, a place to start your health journey for the rest of your life. So, Kayla, please tell everyone, where can they find you? Where can they connect with you? Obviously, we'll have all those links below, but tell them where to find you right now.
Yeah. The easiest way is on Instagram, probably, is at sozohhp. So it's sozohhp. It's short for Sozo Holistic Healing, which is I know we don't have time to go into the whole thing, but it's on my website. I think you can read about why I called it Sozo. It means being saved, healed, and made whole, and I love that
Oh,
idea.
I love that.
Um, yeah. So my website is sozoholistic.com. I think probably that's the best. Those are the best. Like I have a blog, people can read different free stuff. They can read my story and things like that. I think there should be links to like to Rebirth and my other programs and offers and things like that where they can find either on Instagram or my website. Yeah, I think that's probably
Perfect.
yeah.
Amazing. Thank you so much for being here today. And to our listeners, thank you guys for always being here and tuning in. Go connect with Cayla and rebirth your health journey right now.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, thank you very much. I really, really appreciate it. And
of
it's great just to
course.
talk. I feel like I can I feel like I could have this conversation for like another couple hours too.
We
So
literally could. Yes, we could talk on this forever. It's such a good topic. I feel like women they need it. So this was great. Thank you for being here. And again, to our listeners, we will catch you on the next episode.